Okay.
No, we haven't. We haven't.
They believe it out of us.
Call the meeting, Fayette County Council to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Minutes for the previous meeting. Let's go back. Has everyone had an opportunity to read? Start with the regular meeting from August the 6th.
Yep.
Are there any additions, corrections? If
I
not,
make a motion to approve.
Second.
moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes approved. Next regular meeting, September the 3rd.
Move to approve the September 3rd minutes.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Say
Aye.
aye. Opposed?
Who seconded that?
Who seconded?
I did.
Mike? Dale and Mike?
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Minutes approved. Special meeting, September the 17th. This was their meeting to conduct the annual non-binding reviews of the taxing units.
I move to approve the September 17 minutes.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes approved. Mail. Debbie, any new mail?
I think everyone probably received in their box
I give up.
a notice of the healthcare exchanges per the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
And that was required by law that I give those notifications to all employees, so.
Debbie, I don't think I got such a thing. What did it look like?
She might have had, Kathy put them in and I wrote a letter that went, memo that went with it, so
Cover letter, Shirley,
there,
Okay.
yeah.
and the actual.
There it is right there.
Oh, this one here.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
it looks like.
I don't have one of those. Okay. So, I'll get a copy later. Is there anything that we need to do on that, Debbie? That's just notification?
Correct,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Another mail item, or did you have anything else, Debbie?
No.
I handed out to everybody a copy of the State Emergency Register of Volunteers. This was something that I picked up down from Matt Shirk. He sent out a note that they were required, that his office is required to do as part of the emergency preparedness testing, and some of you may or may not have seen an email that he sent out to all the county and all the city employees on the distribution list. But this is about maintaining a state registry of volunteers, and that everyone is invited to volunteer if they would like to help serve in times of an emergency. And the instructions to how to go online and volunteer. So just wanted to pass that out to everyone in case they hadn't seen about that. Any other mail? Other council? I guess there was one thing, the flowers for Kathy's Met. Item number 4, County Attorney.
I don't have anything that needs to be discussed now.
Next down, reports from the commissioner.
We ask if number 9 can be moved up.
Say again?
Can number 9 be moved up? We ask for that possible. So she
Okay,
can-
okay. No one asked me where to move number 9 up to.
Okay, well,
I'm okay. Let's move up number 9
Okay.
before the reports.
all right.
I appreciate that.
Jenna?
I asked to be on the agenda tonight. I have a clerical that resigned. Her last day was Friday, and I'm asking to replace that position. The starting salary for that position is $16,747, and that's approximately $7,350 difference. She had 15 years in the department, so I'm just asking to replace that position. I have a 144 ready for the auditor if it is approved.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Jim, motion, who second?
I think.
Been moved and seconded that we approve 144 to replace the clerical position in the probation department. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Do you have someone in mind? Is this being advertised or
I'm going
posted
to
for the
advertise.
for the other courthouse employees?
Yes, I will post that, and I'm going to try to replace as soon as possible, but I'm doing the interviewing and records checking, all that background stuff to make sure I do it right. But I'm hoping to have somebody fairly soon. And I was going to go to the unemployment office too, actually. And there's, I believe, that's it. Thank
And that's a
you.
full-time, 40 or 30?
Yeah.
32?
33 and a half.
33 and a half hours?
Actually. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now we're going to move back up to reports. Commissioner's representative, Barton had another meeting this evening and asked if I could talk about the meeting this morning. Maybe Debbie could fill in anything that I missed. Jay reported that the chip and seal and paving is about finished for the year, and they've been also trimming trees, but they're about to start getting ready for the snow season. Bill Gray reported on the repair of the pipe that was leaking, and when they got into it, it was substantially worse than what they expected, and they believe they need to continue on and check about fixing the rest. It's going to be quite an issue. They asked Chris what was the statute of limitations for the contractor's responsibility for the construction. So the fact that the courthouse was done in 2004, and then maybe this was 2005 when they were doing the whether or not the contractor had any liability to repair the pipes in the ceiling. Also, they were referring to the stairs up front. Ben talked about the IT, talked about the 119 phones that they finished installing, the new phone system, rolled it out in the last couple days. The surveillance system is going up this week, and then they're working to add the interior security cameras. The committee had asked, or I think the commissioners had asked Chris about the possibility to appoint a committee. They're considering the appointment of a committee to accept proposals about the highway garage. Debbie indicated she passed out to all the county employees the notice about the Affordable Care Act. There was a question the Community Corrections had about they were filling a position, they needed some extra overtime hours, and they were concerned about what the look back period of time was, because wanted to make sure they didn't cause an issue with not going over that to 28 hours. The Highway Health Department, the Highway Department Health Insurance proposal was approved by the commissioners, and they're going to be going with the union package. Then that's going to save a substantial amount of money and also include dental and vision. Barton talked about the safety meeting that was held earlier this month. Brad Wilson from our insurance carrier, in response to the uproar about the premiums going from $110,000 to $251,000, asked what we could do. Brought a couple of different representatives in. One of them that is specifically works with law enforcement offices, and the other one just to take a look at the different offices in the county and what, if anything, we can do to be proactive to reduce the number of claims, to therefore have more affordable insurance. And I think that was the last of my notes. Debbie, was there anything else?
Oh, the other thing was discussed during, when Jay was up there, and did you say that about the possibility of looking for temporary,
Yes.
temporary space to move the highway mechanic and office.
Should anything
In
come
light
up
of,
with,
yeah,
in light of the,
safety concerns, and probably also if you were going to put the building in the same spot, you'd probably have to relocate people to, relocate it if you were going to put the building
Put the building in the same spot.
At the exact same spot.
okay. I think that was it. So then, next committee reports, do we have any committee reports?
Shirley, they got any estimates on the garage yet? They've been working on it for about 30 days.
No, what Chris discussed this morning, considering the appointment of a committee, that would be for design build, rather than going traditional where you would hire an architect and draw up plans and then let the plans out for bid, which would which is hope that would fast track it a little bit, so.
Fast track it and save a few dollars.
Basically, since it's such a big project that you can't just, there's a bunch of formalities you have to require to even talk to a prospective bidder or contractor. They have to be put on notice that might happen, and lots of people have to have an opportunity to submit their bid. If we go the other route, the route we're talking about, the committee is put in place to oversee the proposals, and they rate them based on price and other factors like their ability to, a history of doing some type of work. Just it's a standard rating system, but it takes time. Just with any project of this that costs more than $150,000.
So I think, like I said, they're considering appointing that committee at the next meeting. Maybe perhaps they're looking for volunteers or members to serve on that committee.
I got a question for Jay. Jay, how many miles of chip and seal were you able to get done this year? Do you know? Do you know?
Would ask me that.
Approximately.
I think it averaged about 15 miles per district.
Okay.
Is what we averaged, but we did some blacktopping too. We did put some overlays down up around Bentonville, that up there where it's really bad and the roads were gone. We made our own pug mix and just overlaid the road with pug mix.
Okay.
We did that. We covered some cans and other things. We fixed some bad spots down in around Everton, that down in there. But
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Okay, next down, any unfinished business, things we're working on? Anything under new business? Move on to number 8, additional appropriations, prosecutor bad check fund.
That's just standard, that's just the standard, that they've collected so much and they'll appropriate it to be used. It was $82.50.
Do you have the ones for everybody?
Oh, I guess, I thought Beth passed them out. I am so terribly sorry.
No problem, we can hand them down.
She put them in this folder and
Well, that keeps them for
did not
safekeeping,
realize,
right?
well, she's,
So the first one is for $82.50. This is our monthly change from the bad check fees to county general.
I'll make a motion.
Jim, make a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the transfer of the $82.50. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the county general coroner. Vicki? think we have two things here for Vicki.
Yes, I'm requesting additional funds for autopsies. We've had to do several this year, more than we generally do. And I have 2 pending to be paid right now, and I don't have the funds for that. So I am requesting additional funds for that.
Okay, for $500. How much is each autopsy again? I know you've told us that in the past.
No, it's 2,000 for autopsies. It's an extra.
They're $1,000 up
She has
to
two
maybe
left.
1,500.
Okay, I just
Generally
rounded it up.
1,000, 1,100.
Okay, so 2,000, and I'd say again, each,
About $1,000 up to 1,500, but generally around 1,000, 1,100 in general.
okay. And so there was 2,000 for that, and then the $500 is for
That's for autopsy labs.
the labs. Okay,
I think that was 700 on that one, didn't it?
500.
Oh, was it 5? Okay.
Before you go forward and ask for an additional on this, we are trying to hold our additionals down through the end of the year. So I would suggest we turn these 2 additionals into transfers from the council's budget where you had those circuit breaker credits in, and we do transfers from them rather than actually doing additionals.
okay, what, do you have the balance in that fund?
Well, like $407,000.
Okay,
I mean, it's in that line item that was actually put in there to be unspent, to be kind of a placeholder for those circuit breaker credits.
okay. Everybody understand what Debbie is asking
I think we have done it in the past on
for a couple
a
of them?
couple of the items. If you need, if you need that line item, I can.
Any discussion or questions
Here, you
about that?
have Can you hand me your financial report right there? If that's this month's.
Vicki, there's probably no guarantee this will get you through the end of the year, is there?
I'm hoping,
Yeah,
but this has been an unusual year. Usually I have money left over in autopsy every year, I think I have. But this year it's just not going to be that way.
well, your line of business is very unpredictable.
It is. And we've had, generally I'll have 55 to 60 cases a year. We already hit 60 cases this year, so unfortunately, but
You're already up to 60 this year?
60 deaths, yes.
Vicki, what determines when an autopsy should be done? Or is there some kind of criteria?
There are laws of certain, that I have to do. Children,
Okay.
all children.
All right.
Anything that is suspicious or unexpected. Most of them are natural, there's no question about that, and I don't do autopsies on natural deaths.
Okay.
Some car accidents, it's mandated by law, I have to do it.
When a case is deemed a suicide, does that require one?
No,
No, okay.
I generally do not.
Okay.
I may draw blood, I'll draw blood, autopsy blood,
Okay, yeah.
and see if there was something going on there, like, drugs or something. But I don't do that on everyone.
Right, okay.
But, when it's an obvious suicide and the police and I together decide that there's nothing suspicious about the case, no, I don't.
Okay.
Okay, what say council members, anyone?
I'll make a motion
With the transfer.
To
Tran-
transfer, yes.
To transfer from the circuit breaker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we transfer funds, 500 plus the 2,000 for a total of 2,500. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I hope I don't have to come back.
Who did the motion and the second?
Jim Wolf made the motion,
Second.
and Mike Winter seconded.
Thank you.
Next, we have coroner's perpetuation. Is Jerry?
I have,
We have a request here for additional work to additional appropriation for $3,000. It doesn't really give any detail on what that's about.
I want to make a motion, since he's not here to explain this, we table this to next meeting.
Seconded.
So he can explain what this is about.
Okay, been moved and seconded that we table it. Any further discussion? All in favor? Say aye. Opposed?
I think
Tabled.
it's especially prudent to do that considering what's going on too.
Yes.
Okay, we've already addressed item number 9, the probation 144. That moves us down to number 10, patrons' concerns. Do you have any?
Oh, I have one concern. It's about the front steps out here. Are they going to, does anybody know if they're going to try to do something before the winter, or do you know?
we have probably not we, I mean, I've been there when they've been between Barton and Bill Gray have called concrete contractors to try to get a bid. One guy came up and come up and looked at it, has never given us a bid. We called local people who have never called us back. My husband actually went down because his cousin, Don Steiner, works at IMI, to see if he could give him a list of people, that they sell concrete to, that he knows, by how much they buy, what kind of work they did. And he gave him a list of 3 names. One of those names on the list is the guy that came and looked at it and never followed up with the bid. So we are having trouble getting, I'd probably say we probably called 6 different contractors.
I got a recommendation, if they haven't contacted Paul Martin.
Yeah, he's on that list.
Okay, he's on the list, okay.
Yep. In fact, he's the one that came and looked at it, I believe. It was a Paul, and there were 2 Pauls on the list. I know
Phelps on that list?
Huh?
Brian Phelps on that list?
He did not return the phone call. And then since we've started talking about them, if you look, like right kind of down where that middle handrail is, they're cracked all the way through there, and then the question is, does everything need to come out or just those steps? I think Paul Martin was the one who came and looked to see if there's any way there can be some kind of a cap put on the steps, not to have to tear the steps out. And then we haven't heard anything back. And maybe he's been very busy. I know
he's been very, very busy.
Yeah,
I will see him tomorrow. I'll talk to him about it.
Yeah, you might
And tell him to get back.
ask him if you're talking to him. It may just be waiting there, ready,
Right.
to get us a bid.
As Gray went through all the guarantees that we had, has he went through all that stuff?
As who?
Gray,
Great, Bill Gray.
Bill Gray.
Oh, the warranties and that, we discussed that this morning, and that's what, when Shirley gave that report, the steps were one issue, plus the
pipe.
The pipe on the second floor, because when it was torn apart, they found out it's supposed to have like a red silicone that's heat resistant silicone, that it was supposed to go on all those joints. And when they took it apart, they found it had clear silicone on it. Then they are also concerned that in replacing the silicone and getting those pipes apart and all, if it doesn't have the correct silicone, are they pulling more of them loose as it goes? So this may end up, so I haven't had time yet today, but I'm going to look those contracts up, because Chris said if it's been within 10 years.
Have they also talked to the architects that did this? Have they talked to that company?
Or is it Schmidt?
Schmidt.
No, not that I know of, but we can give that information to Chris, and he could
Need to talk to
follow
those
up with
guys
that.
too.
The architect or the general contractor?
Huh?
I said the architect or
Well,
the general
The
contractor? or-
architects should
Yeah.
They had their own people here anyhow. They
The
really
architect's
didn't
not
get
gonna
what
get
they
into the mechanical systems of it. The architect's gonna get into the structural, the,
called. But they were the overseers of the,
They had a guy
had their own man in here doing
because
the
they're not
overseeing
gonna
of
know
the courthouse.
about, they're not gonna know about what the caulk is and.
No, but they should have all the contracts up there where they did that. See, this thing has been a screwed up mess ever since because of that.
When were the defects first discovered on both the steps and?
Dog watching the dog.
Well, we've known these steps out here. They had put like a skim coat. I think they didn't get them angled right for
No,
the
they
water
didn't.
to
That's
drain
correct.
off.
They're sloped
Correct.
back.
And this was this suggestion to do it this way was offered by the contractor and obviously has not worked, so I think there should be investigating. We took their option and it didn't work, so I don't know if we have any recourse there or not. I mean, because I think it was discussed to tear them out, but they had this option, they thought this would work, well, obviously it hasn't.
Oh, it's just chipped off like
No.
bad plaster, you
It
know.
was
I
never
mean.
gonna work.
We had the Fox
So
Washington in-house.
I'm in the process of finding those contracts, and I may have to do some digging to find them, and then getting that information to Chris, and then, you know, following up with that.
Okay. Any other discussion along that line? Or other line? If not, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Here a second?
Second.
All in favor? Say
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Hey, guys, I have things to
Signatures.
sign coming down your way.